background. I swear every time I come on in podcast, my allergies start acting up. Yeah, this damn weather is crazy, man. It was like 72. It was 73 yesterday, and today is like 40. Just like, come on. I'm surprised everybody ain't sick. What the fuck? You heard that? It is me. This is damn. This is what happens when you let your kids hold your phone. They download these crazy games with these damn notifications.
All right. That's enough.
That's wow. If I was live and that happened.
Oh yeah, you was live. We was live.
Oh, we live?
Oh, we been live. Yo, I was trying to play a little Sonic music before we get started, get some people in here.
Okay.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? It's just your boy, Real Game 27. We're back again with another RG and T show. Go ahead, and introduce yourself.
Hey there, folks. Mr. T of the Mr. T Show. How y'all doing out there?
Already, and man, oh my God, it's been a while since we had a Sega cast, and today we got some good and some bad and probably some ugly. And should we get the ugly out the way first? Because this ugly has been very cancerous these past few days, and a lot of this ugly with this Sega deal and Active Sin game, and he just troll. Sonic sucks, Sega sucks. Oh my God, yeah, that's the ugly. Because I can see it. I can see a whole bunch of Sega sucks in the damn chat. I see it, people. I see Alex. Oh my God. Let me calm down because I'm still a Sega guy. I don't care what y'all say. I'm still a Sega dude. Y'all kick rocks if you don't agree with me, or you ain't gotta agree with me. Like if you hate Sega, I don't give a damn. Just don't be trolling me like that. But okay. Before we get started, let's talk.
Well, I just want to say, pay no attention to that old Sega sucks stuff because it's very simple. This is how I put it. Like I'm a Yankees fan, and there's Red Sox fans who always say Yankees suck. Now, if we actually suck, they wouldn't care. They know that we're greatness, and that's why they care enough to even acknowledge it. So if something sucks and you don't want to acknowledge it, you just don't acknowledge it. But
they just said that they suck because remember they used to be Nintendo's biggest rival back then. So since they are out the gaming industry, they got a lot more ammunition to come with that. So yeah. But okay, I guess let's talk about the games we've been playing this past week, man. What you been playing?
I've been obviously playing Odyssey, beat that. I've been playing a game that's on the eShop called Rogue Trooper Redux. I don't know if you saw that. It's that with those blue dudes, shooting game with the blue guys. Yeah, that mostly. And I just got back into Raving Rabbit. I got Mario plus Rabbids. I'm on the last world. I'm trying to finish that before any more games come out and end up in the backlog.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, can y'all hear us, people? Can y'all hear us? Trying to make sure everything. Well, my mic says it's good, so make sure we got everything up and running. So I think only one person said that they can't hear us. But okay.
Your speakers, Dan, man.
No, I'm good.
No, I mean whoever said they can hear us.
Yeah, it has to be their speakers, man. It's a new computer. That's like got a $1,000 laptop, man. I just got this like a few weeks ago, man. I better not be having no damn issues, man. I better not. I'm gonna be super pissed, man. But yeah, I guess the games I've been playing, of course, Odyssey. I've been playing Odyssey, and Odyssey is the shit. And Odyssey is awesome. I just love to see the saltiness, all the hatred and bigotry going on in this damn community about Odyssey. Oh my God! I talked about it yesterday. But I'm trying to get this dude out of my mind. Like this, I'm not even gonna say his name. This dude literally said that, of course, Mario doesn't appeal to him. A lot of Nintendo games don't appeal to him. He said, would it be cool if Nintendo just wipe everything, all their IPs, just let it go and start over and get new IPs? This dude actually said that because he's so mad that the Switch is it's a success and their games is selling so awesome. He said that.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, that makes sense. McDonald's, they should get rid of the Big Mac and the quarter pounder and get rid of those fries, get rid of all the stuff that's super successful, everybody loves and sells, and just start over and make a biscuit burger or something.
Oh my god, this dude! Like, I was like, are you serious? Like, you want Nintendo to just get rid of everything and turn the Nintendo console to a dude bro system, because he's a dude bro guy. And like, I was like, okay, Nintendo, they got 4 IPs that's 10 million plus strong. Like, each time they come out with the game, it sells 10 million plus. Zelda, Smash, Mario Kart, and 3D Mario games. Those 4 franchises right there sell 10 million plus. He still said Nintendo need to just get rid of it.
Just get rid of it. Yeah. You're going to be like Microsoft, I guess. Huh?
Oh, damn. Microsoft shade. Damn. But, I guess the games I've been playing this past few days. Of course, if I've been streaming a lot on my channel lately, I will be streaming the rest of Resident Evil 3 for the Dreamcast. Hopefully this weekend if I have time. I am almost done with it, so I'm trying to play a lot of my Dreamcast games. I've been playing some retro stuff, and I just love video games. Like, that's why I just can't buy every single game that comes out, because I'm still having fun playing my backlog, playing some old school, playing the Genesis, playing the SNES. It's just so many games to play, man. And what else I've been playing? Oh yeah, Wolfenstein. That is an awesome game. I don't know if you played that one yet. The new one, the Colossus. That game is freaking awesome. I'm gonna probably try streaming it again sometime this week. So, and of course, Mario Kart 8. Played a little NBA 2K, and what else I played? Little Odyssey and SteamWorld Dig 2. So yeah, those are games I've been playing this past week, man. And
would you play 2K on? Will you have it on?
I got it on Switch.
Oh, you got it on Switch? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like, y'all been trying. I'm trying to show
get
support.
some games in. We need to get some games in.
Man, I'm still trying to. Man, oh, dude. This game frustrates me. I miss layups. How the hell you miss layups,
bruh?
Dude.
I don't. Why they keep changing the free throw system in that damn series?
I'm getting bodied on pro. I'm struggling on rookie. I can win on rookie, but pro, like, it's like I don't even want to go to All Star yet. Like, pro is freaking hard. Try to play Golden State Warriors on pro.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, I'm still a rookie, but
try to play them as the Knicks.
Well, I play them as the Mavericks, and the Mavericks, who's still in that rebuild process. So yeah.
Who you telling? Yeah, I'm a Knicks fan. Who you telling?
Oh, y'all ain't got Carmelo no more. So wow.
Yeah, Carmelo left. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. Like, all that, man, that dude, he got so much talent, man. He still never won an NBA championship.
Well, he got to play some D. That's his one thing. He play no D, man.
Dirk doesn't play defense. His defense sucks.
But he's a good rebounder. He's a good
that's
block. True. He's a decent shot blocker.
Well, I can't even compare those two. Dirk, I'll choose Dirk over Carmelo, because Dirk is dominant. Because, like, that's a 7-footer can do a drop back fadeaway. How can you guard that? I don't know. How can you guard a 7-footer?
You can't.
That's why he's one of the greatest of all
Pull
time.
up and shoot 3, but that's what we got with Porzingis in New York too. We got a very Dirk-like guy, Kristaps. So,
I don't know. I don't even know how we got into basketball.
Because we were talking about 2K.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we should get some games. Matter of fact, are we even following each other on the Switch right now?
I don't know.
What is your? Oh, you know what? I was about to say, what is your gamer tag?
What's your friend code?
Yeah,
I'll give it to you later.
Okay, jeez, man. I really hope whenever we get that, whenever Nintendo comes with this paid subscription next year, I really hope that they change that. We get a gamer tag and achievements, get some stuff that we have on Xbox and PlayStation, make it fair. If we could pay for this services, then I would like to feel that my money was worth it. That's how I feel.
I believe they will. Like, obviously, I'm sure Miiverse ended last night, and so I was on there. I did a little video about it, and it was crazy. It was crazy. People posting dick pics and all kind of stuff. Because there was no moderators. All the moderators didn't care. So people were posting all kind of stuff. I made a video about it. You should go watch it.
Oh man, yeah, I'll check it out. Wow.
But it made me think about the fact that Miiverse, obviously you couldn't do a lot of stuff with Miiverse as far as with your friends and whatnot. But I made a post saying this is Nintendo basically getting rid of the last thing we did have to interact with our friends on all their consoles. So they need to step it up.
Oh wow! I really hoped. I was wishing that they would, use the Miiverse and put over to the Switch, because
I was hoping so too.
It was pretty cool. That's like one of the coolest features on the Wii U. Like, I don't know why they just
integrate it into the system. Don't make it like a separate app, and just build them.
Yeah, the freaking we ain't got nothing on the Switch. It just
got nothing.
It's just blank. It's just there.
Just looking at your friends, and you just like can't even say nothing.
We don't even know what our friends doing. We don't know if they collected achievement.
You can see what they playing, but you can't say, hey.
It's saying that they playing, how many hours. Like, we don't know if he playing this many hours. Like, he probably had the game on for like 20, 30 hours and he didn't play it. He just let it sit there. So we we got exposed to these frauds in this community. We got to know who's actually playing these games. Not just playing. But so
we off the rails.
Yeah, we off the rails. Okay, but okay, man, I kind of wish. Well, I would like to stay off the rails because we had no choice but to talk about this subject. Sonic. I can see the damage control in the damn comment section in the chat. Oh my god. Okay, Sonic Forces. It's out, and some people said they like it. Some people say they hate it. Some people say it's garbage, it's trash, it's worse than Sonic Boom. I don't know what can be worse than Sonic Boom.
I don't think that's true. And you're going too far. You say that. Come on now.
Well, if you want to look at the Metacritic just as bad as Sonic Boom. So I don't know what to say. But
I don't think. I think it's because of how I feel. Like, basically, being a Sega fanboy. Sonic was up there with Mario when he first came out. He was an iconic character, created by Yuji Naka. Mm-hmm. Sonic Team was iconic. They made great hits, And so for me, like, I want him to still be there, and anything less than that is trash. It's not actually trash, but it's not up to par. If Nintendo came out with a Mario game that had the platforming physics and whatnot of Knack, I would be the same way about them. Like, that's trash. Like, I can't accept mediocrity from an iconic character, an iconic franchise. You know what I'm saying? Some people have already moved on. I haven't, I guess. I still expect Sonic to make some turnaround and be the big, character that he was before. And I think people grade it on a scale. So I don't think the game is actually trash. Mm-hmm. I think people come from it the way I'm coming from it, as far as I expect more from Sonic, and a lot of people just don't.
Yeah. Because the high expectations and all the hype. There was a lot of hype about this game. A lot of hype.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype. Yeah, they had that whole event. That event was kind of crazy. That was kind of screwed up with the audio and whatnot. They had some issues, but
I remember that. That was
pretty bad. Yeah. But with Sonic Mania is greatness, and it's just like, how is the indie game made by Christian Whitehead better than the mainline Sonic Team game? Like,
that's embarrassing, dude.
That's embarrassing, right? I feel like that's embarrassing.
Does this game deserve a 55 Metacritic? I think it's
I don't think
55
so
right now. But yeah, like you said a while ago, I think that everybody had a very high expectations for this game. People will keep on talking about Mario Odyssey, like alongside with Sonic Force. Like, let's go and back it up here. Like, let's don't compare Mario Odyssey with Sonic Forces, because if there was like Sonic Adventures, when it was actually good, then we can compare Odyssey because Adventures was really good back in there. I love Adventures, but after Adventures, it's been mediocrity to trash. We got a little hope with Generations and Colors.
Yeah, Colors was pretty good. I thought
it was good, but after that, it just went down south, man. So that's why there's been a lot of hype and a lot of expectations. And do I think it deserves a 55 Metacritic score? No, I think it should be between 65 and 70 because overall, I think it's going to be a decent game. And yes, Nia, yes, we are damage controllers for Sega. Yes, yeah, thank you.
I think it's at least average.
It should be at least average.
5 to 7. Yeah. It's not. I'm looking at the gameplay. It just, it's kind of bland. The level design isn't that great. I don't think it looks terrible. I don't think it just looks that bad where it needs a 5. But again, I'm grading it on a curve of a guy who expects more from Sonic, and obviously we're long past Sonic being, on a pedestal with Mario, but I can't let that go. I can't change how I feel about the character, what I expect from him. I can't change that.
Well,
I wouldn't do that with Mario. I wouldn't do that with Mario. Like I said, if Mario woke up tomorrow and he was trash or not as good as what we've gotten, then I'd be the same way about Mario. Some people be like, "Oh, well, this is how Mario is now." No, I can't accept that. So,
well, maybe because ever since they transitioned from 2D to 3D, it's a lot harder, a lot difficult with Sonic because he goes very fast, and Mario is not as fast. So, that's why it's very hard to transition from 2D to 3D. Because they got to put more effort into that and.
I said it though. Adventures or Sonic Adventure, I think that was the right, balance. Obviously it still needed some tweaking, but start with that. That's your foundation right there for 3D Sonic, I think.
Yeah,
and kind of left that away. They left that alone. So
I don't know why. I remember that Sega event when they announced Mania and Forces. Yeah, that trash ass event. It was like the audio was trash, but the event was cool because they had that dude I think he sang every single Sonic soundtrack. It was cool, but the audio was trash, man.
Yeah, it was.
And, oh my gosh,
it was like a buzz in their feet the whole time.
Oh my gosh, that was embarrassing. Until this, up to this point, I don't want to crucify this game because we don't know the sales of this game. It just literally came out yesterday. So, and it's in the top, 15 in the eShop. So people are buying it. Yeah. So basically, when it comes to Sonic games, it's going to sell. It didn't sell because it was on the Wii U and it wasn't on other platforms because Nintendo had a contract with Sega. But if you want to go back to the Wii 360 and PS3 days, there was a lot of trash-ass Sonic games. But they sold extremely well.
Sonic 06 sold 2.5 million copies. And that was garbage.
And it was. The reason why I think this game's gonna sell because it's a budget title. It's a budget game. It's $40. So that's on the right foot right there, on the right note. You charging a lot less than what you did in the past. But as far as what we getting into with this game, I still think it might be decent because I see some Generations in that game, and I'm a huge fan of Generations. As long as we don't get no secret rings or no Unleashed in 06, I don't want that trash in my game. If they keep that trash out of there, even Boom. Oh my god, that was the worst Sonic game ever. Keep that trash out that game, then I would consider playing the game. But yeah, it's just too many mediocre Sonic games and I guess the bar has been raised a lot higher because of the competition Sega gave Nintendo back in the early 90s. If you want to look at the total sales that Sonic has got ever since Sega came out with Sonic franchise, it sold over 300 plus million. Sonic as a franchise as a whole sold over 300 plus million. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't take it how y'all want, people. Yes, we know Mario is the number 1 mascot in the world. Sonic is number 2. You can argue with me.
He's a distant.
No. Halo's distant number 3. No. Well.
Is Halo a mascot? I mean,
well,
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a mascot for Microsoft, but if you want to go by,
I guess Master Chief is like a mascot.
And what's the mascot for Sony? I don't even know.
Well, it was Nathan Drake.
It used to be Crash, remember?
Yo, that was a while ago. That was PS1 days.
Yeah, but when you look at gaming companies, when you look at mascots, Sonic and Mario pops up. Like
I would say it was Nathan Drake, but obviously that series is pretty much done. So maybe it's probably Kratos at this point, because he's still around. So
Kratos is a mascot. So you try to sell a PlayStation?
Well, I want to say mascot, but when you think of PlayStation, you think of Kratos. Yeah, I don't mean like mascot. Like
trying to get a bunch of 5-year-olds by the PlayStation. Come and get my PlayStation, I will kill you.
I just meant something like a character that represents the company, I think.
Oh my god. So with the Forces, are you getting? Did you already buy it?
No, I can't get it at $40. Even at $40,
damn,
I can't get.
They already give me a discount, man.
Honestly, I could have got it at $30,
really?
with my discount, but I just I'll get it at $20. Like I'm not gonna not buy a Sonic game that's at least decent at this point, but I'm not gonna give them the full price they want. It has to be at a lower price.
What? $40 a full price now?
Well, no, I mean the full price that they want. That's $40 is what they want. They're not gonna get $40 from me because again, like I said, I hold Sonic the character. Dude, I used to be all in on Sonic, like the cartoons, the comics.
Oh, me too.
So to see him where he is now is just it doesn't mesh well with me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to support fully support the way Sonic is now. Like I want them to put some more effort into it because, with Sega, he is their mascot, like their flagship character. Like you got to do better with him,
Got Mania. Got Mania.
Mania, Mania is great.
Yes, Sega said that they going to cater to both fan bases. I think like a little after Mania launch. So basically what they telling us, they want us to expect another 2D Sonic game.
It's not, and that's fine. I don't mind that they're catering to both fan bases, but can the 3D Sonic not be
trash?
Bland. Like I don't want to call it trash. It's trash to me because it's not as good as I think it should be. But can we get some better level design? Can we get tighter controls? Can we get more intuitive?
Well, I got 2 words for you that can do that. Christian Whitehead. Like I'm just gonna be real with you. Like what he did to this Sonic Mania game was amazing. Like people arguing that Sonic Mania is the best 2D Sonic game ever. Like I think it is. It's kind of hard because the Sonic games back in the 90s was freaking awesome.
It's hard for me to say that. I mean, it's great.
Hard. Because you got even Sonic CD is underrated, but that was a really good game. Sonic CD and a lot of people, majority of these Sonic fans will say Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles are the best ones. But me, I think Sonic 2 was the best. Because
Sonic 2 was probably because I played the hell out. That was the one I played the most.
I love Sonic 2.
It's probably 2. It's probably 2 for me.
Yeah, because they introduced us with Super Sonic and Tails. So that right there kind of expanded the series. And of course, with Sonic 3, that's when Knuckles came about. I think Knuckles came about Sonic 3. Then they got a Sonic and Knuckles game. Then just went on, and it was great back then. And of course, when Sonic Adventures came out, it's like Sega, they basically picked up where they left off, and it transitioned from 2D to 3D really well. But after the adventures, it's like chickens with their heads cut off. Like, what the hell, Sega? Like at that Sega event, when they was asking questions, a lot of questions was about, are we getting a Sonic Adventures 3? And they couldn't even answer it.
But this is the thing. Like, I'm a 2D Sonic fan. Like you said, they cater to both fan bases. Like, I'm 2D, and I'm part of the fan base that went into the 3D Sonic games, the Sonic Adventure games. What about catering to me, that guy? What about catering to the Sonic fan who liked Sonic Adventures, like who was a 2D Sonic fan and liked what they did with Sonic Adventure? Like, look, it's easy to pick Sonic Adventure apart now, but when it came out, we loved it. We thought it was, it was the 3D Sonic where everybody wanted at the time. So,
People
how about catering to us?
People was actually comparing the Sonic Adventures to Mario 64.
Yeah, Sonic was still with Mario at that point.
Yeah, well, then when Dreamcast fell, Sega, it's all old news.
Yeah.
Now we got people like Alex Nia in the chat just trashing Sega. So,
haters.
So I guess we should call this the Sega Refugee Podcast. I almost named this title the Refugee, but they still what's so bothersome, what pisses me off so much. Atari of all people, Atari is coming with a console, a freaking Atari, dude. Atari, like what the hell?
But are they?
Huh?
Are they though? Like I don't know. I don't trust that thing, man.
Well,
like
it doesn't have a CD drop. It doesn't have a CD drop, but still, Atari, it's coming back with a console. Like if Sega come out with a console and it's all digital, I will still be happy because Sega's back. But Atari, man, how did they get another console before Sega? I don't even know a single IP from Atari. I just don't know. But with Sega, like they got so many gems on their freaking backlog of IP. So
and that is the biggest. That's my biggest issue with Sega, is that it seems, for me, in your standpoint, it seems like it's so easy to do this, like because you guys have it's almost like it's Capcom. It's not as bad as Capcom yet, but it's getting there.
Man,
like you guys have all these iconic franchises, and you do nothing with them, like Panzer Dragoons, and Sonic is in the tank. You got Power Stones and Knights, and you have iconic.
Yeah. It's free on Xbox One backwards compatibility right now if you want to know Knights. I just downloaded last night.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I got to get that.
Yep.
That's the clean version. That's the up-res and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just downloaded. So yeah.
They have all that stuff, and people want it. Like if Nintendo, like you popped up, you opened you turn your Switch on, and there was like a Dreamcast Virtual Console, people would lose their minds. Like, because we want that stuff. We still want those, those franchises. And I don't understand how you can just sit on that. Like Microsoft with Rare. Like, I don't know how you just sit on all those IPs. I don't understand it.
I don't know neither, man. Like, don't get me started with Rare, man. What the hell is Microsoft doing? Like, Sea of Thieves? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, they got so many good IPs. They need to give it back to Nintendo. Give it back to Nintendo, man. Please. They don't know what the hell they doing. Oh my God. Oh, that's another stuff. That's another topic, man. But with Sega, man, they got so many IPs that they can freaking compete, like, in this gaming industry. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm glad that they are, dabbling with the PC market. They finally released Bayonetta and Vanquish on PC this year, and they was happy because it sold extremely well. And I'm happy for Sega. And of course, they own Atlas as well too. Persona 5. I love Persona 5. It's one of my top 5 games this year. It's gonna probably be Game of the Year contender. Persona 5, and of course they got the Shin Megami Tensei series. So Sega, they are expanding. No matter how much hatred y'all got for Sega, they're still expanding. Earlier this year, they said that they basically gained more revenue, and they invested more money into R&D. They're gonna dig back into their old IPs. They said that, and it's my wait and see approach. I said Sega they had a really good year this year. They had a good year this year. And I was like, okay, since we got Mini was an amazing, great game, can we please end the year with a bang? And the bang is Sonic Forces. And
they killed the momentum, man.
Oh my God, no, Sega.
They killed all that momentum from Sonic Mania. They killed it.
No, Sega. Why? You was doing so good.
Proudly looking over at my Sonic statue, feeling good, playing Sonic Mania, and there's so much cool nostalgia in that package, the cartridge and all that good stuff, and it's just like they just squandered all that goodwill.
My God. Why? Like, they had a lot of momentum going on all year, really good momentum, and this happened. Excuse me. let's not forget Yakuza. That game is awesome.
Yakuza
0 is freaking awesome. Y'all should check that game out. It is awesome. Like, and it scored really well on Metacritic. I think it scored like an 86 or 87. It was almost a critical acclaim.
I always said like Yakuza games like that. What's the other one? What's that other open world?
Shenmue?
No, I was gonna say those games are like the kind of the predecessor to Shenmue. Yakuza games.
It does remind me of Shenmue. It does.
Yeah. It's like, why wasn't that just Shenmue? Why didn't you just...
Man, I still wouldn't know what's going on with that Shenmue and those facial animations, man.
Oh, my God.
It started the video with the facial animation look the way it was all through the video. Like, it doesn't even move. Like, what is going on, man? Didn't they got like $6 or $7 million from people?
I think it's like $6 million, yeah.
From Kickstarter? Like, where's that money going on? Like, I could have sworn Sony said,
but that's not enough. Like that's the thing. Like I said it from the beginning. Like that's cool that they made that much, but that's not enough to make a quality Shenmue game.
Because remember how much it took? About 50-some million. Is that how much they spent on that? That's late. That's the 90. That was in 98.
That was in 90. Yeah. Well, they started on the Sega Saturn with Shenmue. So I think the Sega Saturn had something to do with because I'm sure that's part of the budget. I don't think it would necessarily needed 40 million. I think they probably could make they could have made a decent Shenmue or a great Shenmue game with like a $25 million budget back then. But I think that because they started on Saturn, they had to transfer all that stuff over to Dreamcast, and Saturn was completely different architecture. And like, I'm sure that was a huge process that they did. But but $6 million in 2017 is a drop in the bucket for what you need for a good Shenmue game.
Yeah,
that game was all about its production value, especially back then. So. That was never going to be enough, and I made the video, and people were jumping on my head because I'm like, again, like with Sonic, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a game that says that has Shenmue in the title, but it ain't gonna be like a Shenmue game like that we need, that we want, and people are just happy that's the same thing with Sonic. People are just happy just to have a new game. Yeah. They don't care about the quality of it. They don't care about the iconic status of it anymore. It's just like, oh, well, we got a new game in the series. That's good enough for me. That ain't good enough for me.
Yeah, because when you accept mediocrity, you're going to get Sonic Boom. Let's just be real. You're going to get Sonic Boom.
Exactly. That's what happens when you accept mediocrity. I will not accept mediocrity to Mario. The minute Mario starts, I'm sure we'll probably never, but if Mario would ever start doing this kind of decline, I'm done. I made the analogy like my first car was an old car. My dad gave it to me. It was a '78 Chevy Nova, nice. And the Novas back then were big. The muscle cars. Those were beastly cars. 8-valve, 305 engines. Those were muscle cars. And then the '80s came, and they turned the Chevy Nova into this little 4-door hatchback-looking Chevelle-looking car. And I was like, that's a Nova? And I'm not accepting that as a Nova. I would never buy that piece of trash. And that's how I feel about, Sonic, and that's how I feel about Mario. Man. If they turn Mario into an 87 Nova, I'm done.
We're going to have us a Mario Boom.
I'm done.
Oh, my God. See, honestly, I think that's why the Sonic Forces reviews is kind of tainted. I won't say tainted. I don't want to say like a Sonic fanboy. But I
don't think they're fair reviews on the game.
I don't think it's
like
fair.
I said, I don't think so either. But I think people are, holding it to that high esteem that I am. So they're grading it on that scale,
Yeah, they hold into the Sonic Adventure scale. Let's just be honest. Like,
if this game came out and it was Donic Forces or Tronic, if it was Tronic Forces and it came out, it was an indie title or something, it wouldn't be getting 5s and whatnot, 4s.
You made a good point because same thing go with Metro Prime Federation Force. If they change the name to that game, like people would be trashing it like that.
It's not a great game, but it's not a bad game. Yeah. But it has Metroid in the title.
Yeah, it has a high standard.
Exactly. That's what changes it. That's how I feel. So,
I'm gonna still try it out. Like I'm gonna still try it out, man. Like I don't care what y'all say in the chat. I don't care how much hatred that y'all have in your hearts towards Sega. What the hell is Alex say? He's somewhere. Is he in the chat right now? I don't.
Look at this chat.
Who's in the chat, man? I know there's some massive trolling going on. I know it's some massive trolling going on.
Jason versus Freddy versus aliens. What is?
What are they talking about?
What are they talking about?
Oh, Fake Gamer 27.
I guess a mashup. Okay.
Okay. Now I don't see Alex. He must be getting ready for his Team Red podcast. I don't see. I know Nia. She's here, but I don't see Alex. Good. Don't tell Alex I'm doing this podcast. Leave him out of here. Because we got enough trolls already in this freaking podcast right now, man. Jesus Christ, man. Like, they just so mad because, I won't say mad, well, they mad and they're happy because Sega no longer here. But, yeah, let's just be real. Sega gave Nintendo a run for their money back then. Let's just be real, man. Because of the Genesis, out of nowhere, it came from nowhere and became an instant success, man. You know, like selling 30 million consoles in the early 90s, that is very good because, like, video games back then weren't as popular as games right now.
You talking about Genesis?
Yes, the Genesis.
Oh, Genesis did better than that, didn't it? I thought Genesis did like, I want to say like 40 something, right?
That's the Super Nintendo.
Because Super Nintendo was 49. I remember that 49 million or something like that. But Genesis wasn't that far behind because it actually beat Nintendo in North America.
Oh yeah, it's very popular out here in North America. Like because majority of my friends had a Genesis more than the Nintendo.
Because Genesis had a 2-year start. That that didn't hurt.
Yeah. Well, they had a 2-year start because like the
because Nintendo was chilling and they didn't want to. They was slow to move on. They were making too much money off of NES. They were the monopolizers. They had the market. So
don't get me started on that. Like it's been a whole bunch of developers coming out like years later saying how badly Nintendo treated them back then. It's been a lot of stories about that.
Yamauchi was he was a Yakuza boss. Like he was about like this. See, the thing about that is that I don't completely blame Nintendo. Like because you got to remember what they were coming into. Like the video game market was dead in North America. It was dead, and they came in because Atari killed it. Atari was putting out, talk about trash. Atari was putting out trash after trash. Have you ever played Pac-Man on the 78 or 7800, 2600? That game is garbage. People talk about what's the game? E.T.
Oh yeah,
Pac-Man was trash. Pac-Man was trash on the 2600.
Did somebody dig up a bunch of ET games not too long ago?
Yeah, that myth actually came true. It was actually a true myth that they buried all those copies in was it New Mexico in the New Mexico landfill.
Oh damn!
Yeah, they did a documentary on it.
I bet it's worth a lot of money.
But I'm just saying, like the market was dead, and so Nintendo came up with all these rules. What they had to do because basically third parties were putting out, games that they worked on for 3 weeks. They were putting these games out and they were garbage. So Nintendo came up with these rules. Well, you can only put out 4 games a year or something like that. And so they came with all those stringent rules because they didn't want the market to crash again. So I don't blame them for that. Even though it obviously led to strained relationships.
Oh yeah. Like
I feel like they had to, what I call it is they carried the cross. They had to carry the cross and, bear the burden of, what happened later, because that's what had to happen at the time in the North American market. So,
yeah. Like I hate that they monopolized the industry.
And Sega super benefited from that, by the way. Oh, yes, everybody was pissed off and like, oh, we're going to Sega, and that's why Sega got all those games that they didn't get with the Master System. So. The
Master System it was a good console as well.
It was a good console. Nobody cared. Nobody
because everybody had Nintendo.
They had the Nintendo monopoly, right? So
it was more powerful too, but I guess people didn't care about that.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, Sega. Yeah, you could see the difference in NES games and Master System games. It was night and day.
I didn't I had a Master System, but it was broke. But of course, my first system was a Genesis, but I had the backwards compatibility deal that you could put on the Genesis. It was backwards compatible to the Master System. That's
Yeah, you
now,
got the I forgot what they called that
I
little
forgot
adapter.
what it was. Yeah, but that's how I got introduced to Alex Kidd in the Miracle World, Space Harrier. I played some Rocky on there, you know, Wonder Boy. Like, you know, I remember those games.
I didn't have
Fantasy Star. Shenmue.
I didn't have it.
Oh, really?
My first, actually, my mom bought me my first console. It was garbage. It was a Atari 5200. It was years later after release, you know, and so she bought it for like $50. It was trash. And my first like mainline console was a Sega Genesis. Like I was around all those other consoles. Like my cousin had all that stuff. My uncles had video game consoles, and I played their stuff all the time. Uncle, you know, he had a lot of money. He was a street pharmacist. Yeah, so he had some money.
Street pharmacist.
And
I just now got it. Street. Damn.
He's a street pharmacist, so he had a lot of money. So
a street
all the
first time I heard that. Street pharmacist.
Oh, you never heard that term? Okay.
I heard it now.
So we all, you know, we benefited from, you know, him because he was a, you know, big time gamer. He bought all that stuff, so we always played on his stuff. So all the NES, you know, my history of NES and my cousins, it was all through, you know, playing on his stuff. And then Sega Genesis was like the first like real console that I owned. So
yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog was the very first game I played when I was 4 years old, and after that I just been a huge Sega guy. You know, like the Saturn, like it was, you know, they had really good games on it. Like when it comes to 2D games, I love the 2D games. It fit
you know, that's what I say about Sonic Mania. Is like Sonic Mania is the 2D Sonic we never got on Saturn.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because it's definitely a 32-bit Sonic game, and it feels like it. Especially when you get to those little 3D levels and stuff, it's like, man, this feels like Saturn right here. This is great.
It should have been a Saturn game.
It should have been, yeah.
So like, okay, with the Mania, okay, so what happened if they take the 16-bit out of that, or the 32-bit out of that, and just make it more like a Sonic 4, those type of graphics, but have these same level of design as the Sonic Mania? Like, do you still want the 16-bit looking?
Oh yeah, I definitely, like, you know, those are pretty much always going to be pretty solid. The 16-bit, 32-bit Sonic games. I you know, I still want 2D ones, but you know, ever since Adventure, I've wanted Sonic to fully step into that 3D realm and be, you know, still iconic and still be that game, you know, that series. But
I'm still salty.
you know,
like
the Black Knight, Sonic and the Black Knight, and
oh, do not say that.
Shadow the Hedgehog, and
they putting swords in Sonic games.
What were they thinking? Shadow had guns. Don't forget.
Oh my God!
It was just like, what are you guys doing?
Like, they was already doing, you know, bad financially when they got out the console market. Yeah. But, you know, over the years, during the 360 and the PS3 and the Wii, like, their reputation has been tarnished, man. Like, it just got from bad to worse. But if we talk about 90s Sega, that was a freaking awesome decade. You know, if you're a Sega fan or a Nintendo fan, like, I played both, man. But, you know, of course, I'm more of a, you know, Sega guy. But, you know, it was just a lot of...
No, Ruby Sakurai, stop it. Sonic and the Black Knight was not fun. Stop. Get out of the chat with that.
Oh, Ruby Sakurai, man, like, he loves Sonic, man. Like, he was the main one in the chat a while ago telling me, no, you keep Alex out of here. He doesn't want Alex here. Because he knows Alex going to talk a lot of crap.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, man. Oh, my God. It's the Sonic Forces, man. I don't know if I want to get it Friday. Cause
I wouldn't mind it. Somebody... who's that said Sonic RPG? I wouldn't mind to see a Sonic RPG. Obviously, that wouldn't be a mainline Sonic game, but I like the Sonic characters, so it'd be cool to see them in the, you know, Super Mario RPG type of RPG game. Yeah.
Have them, instead of doing a Mario Sonic Olympics, do a Mario Sonic RPG. I think that would do very well.
I would love that.
Yeah, but Sega doesn't give us what we want, though.
Yeah, instead they give us, you know, Mario Sonic at the Olympics and shit.
But you gotta give it to them. Like, they made a buttload of money. I think those games,
and they're fun games. Most of them are.
Yeah, I didn't play them, but I look at the sales and the Wii selling like 9 million, 10 million. What?
Yeah,
10 million? What? Yeah. But like if you want to look, even though Sega had like a lot of trash games last generation, but it sold so well. So what is going on with Sega financially? Because all those trash ass Sonic games, and like where's the money going? Like I don't understand. And
like how hard is it to put a team together? All these great indie developers out there that are basically bringing back that 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit era with their games. Mm-hmm. How hard is it? They got Christian Whitehead to make Sonic Mania. How hard is it to get one of these dudes to make a brawler and make a Streets of Rage? How hard is it to commission? Put some money into that. Like,
okay. What? Did I ever get your opinion on Streets of Rage? Because we had a huge argument.
Oh yeah, I remember the Twitter incidents.
Streets of Rage or Ninja Turtles in Time?
Look, I love Turtles in Time. I love it. But if it wasn't for the Ninja Turtles in Time, no one would care about that game. Like, Turtles is a big part of it. And that's why I think, first of all, it's just not fair because especially back then, the Turtles were huge.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Like, I was a crazy Turtles fan. And, anything they came out with, I bought. I made my mom buy or whatever. So it's not fair on that level because those characters in Streets of Rage don't have that. They don't have that commercialism that the Turtles do. And they stood out. That game stood on its own 2 feet as a great brawler. And that's why it's even better to me than Turtles in Time.
Yeah, it had because a soundtrack too.
Oh yeah, oh my God. Like I still hum that today. It is great stuff. Like, the boss fight music, oh my gosh.
Like when it comes to soundtracks and Sega, they're awesome. Like yeah. I used like even though you ever played Daytona USA on the Saturday,
of course,
like
Daytona, like who don't know that?
It is so cheesy, but it's catchy. Yeah. It's catchy
as hell.
Like Sega, they are awesome when it comes to soundtracks.
Nights has some great music. Oh my gosh, I love Nights music.
Yeah, we start to sound like some fans.
Hey, this is a Sega fan cast, so we can do that. We can do that.
I can just see the trailer going there right now.
Yeah, SA2 was greatness, yo. They were greatness.
Let's ask the people in the chat, like, well, which games do y'all rather have? Streets of Rage 2 people or Turtles in Time? I mean, it's like 48 watching. Like, what do y'all think? Turtles in Time or Streets of Rage 2? But yeah, you is kind of right. It's kind of no fair because Ninja Turtles is more mainstream than Streets of Rage. So
yeah. But even today, like I feel like Turtles. I guess there's still a pretty good fan base of Turtles fans out there.
There's still a fan base, but let's just be honest. Like the Ninja Turtle movies and the cartoon series back in the 90s was more popular than it is today. Because the Ninja Turtle movies today is like it's cool, it's alright. But when I was a kid back then, I thought Ninja Turtle was freaking awesome. I had the Ninja Turtle sheets, the blankets, the shirts, pajamas, for real.
Oh yeah,
I had
the turtle kit.
Yeah, my mom took us to the movies, like to see the Turtle movies. Like I played the games. Like remember the Ninja Turtles arcade at Chuck E. Cheese? Remember that?
Oh, of course. That's the first time I played Turtles. What they call it, Turtles 2 on the NES, the arcade game.
Yeah, I used to love that. So yeah, Ninja Turtles more mainstream, man. It was, but I'm gonna have to give it to Sega when it comes to brawlers. Like nobody cannot outbrawl Sega.
They own the arcades. Like the Sega. See that. I forgot who made this point. I want to say it was probably Sean of RGT 85. I think he made the point that one of the things that hurt Sega the most was how the arcades fell off, because Sega was a big arcade company. Oh, yeah. And once like you got basically the arcade experience at home and the arcade started to die, I think Sega started to die too, because that was such a big part of who they were.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. And yeah, when they I don't even know what can I say about the Dreamcast, because
I mean, the Dreamcast.
It was a great console. You know, yeah. Sega, they used to make consoles that was basically dedicated arcade machines.
Yeah,
you know,
pretty much.
But with the Saturn, like, they didn't transition to the 3D. It was capable, but it was a lot hard to develop 3D games for. You know, but the Dreamcast fixed a lot of mistakes that they did with the Saturn, but it was a little too late because they lost a lot of money.
Yeah, they were too far in the hole. What the Saturn did to them. And I still, to this day, I say Sega would still be probably making consoles today had they not abandoned the Saturn. Had they basically done what Nintendo did with the Wii U. Be like, all right, it's not selling, but we're still going to put our games out there. Our games are going to sell. We're going to scrape and make as much money as we can, and we're going to break even, at least, at the end of this. Well, and that's what they should have done instead of kicking it to the curb.
The Genesis, like it was a successful console, but they kind of messed themselves over by these attachments, Sega CDs,
yeah,
Sega
CD, 32X is probably worse. It was the bigger, because CD was fine. I think, you know, I don't know if they probably didn't make money on it, but if anything, they broke even with the Sega CD. The 32X is what killed them, because what did it came out, 95, 94?
I think like 94.
94, like a year before they launched in the Saturn. That was they dropped the 32X, and it was expensive. And what's that library? 40 games tops. It was
that is crazy.
They just were scrambling around, throwing everything at the wall, like just to see what stuck. Yeah. And they're just a mismanaged company, and like it reminds me of Capcom a lot. Like today, Capcom today is just so mismanaged, I think.
Don't get me started, Capcom. Like, they over contradicting themselves. Like, don't get me started, because it's like
it's a whole other podcast.
Oh my god, like, they are flip floppers, dude. They are flip floppers. That's all I gotta say about that. You know, but shit, did we even talk a little Switch? We got a few minutes. Okay. What else? Okay. Before we bounce out of here, what you think about the third parties? And you know, and the Switch situation, as it seems that. If you caught up with the news that these third-party companies are actually gaining back their money from supporting the Switch, and they are pretty satisfied with Ubisoft. 19% of the revenue comes from the Switch. I think with Bandai Namco, the games that they released on the Switch actually done well, and they're happy, and that's why we're getting 3 more exclusives coming out before the summer of 2018, and NBA 2K. Like, they are satisfied with the sales of Switch.
I retweeted that. I was pretty happy to see that.
I was like, what? NBA 2K? I was like, hell yeah, we're going to get us an NBA 2K19, man. So I'm happy to hear that third-party games are actually selling on the Switch. That's what we wanted. Like, Review Tech USA, like, yeah, I watch him. He's very entertaining. He said this a long time ago, like, if you have a Nintendo console that provides the best first-party games in the world on top of every third-party multi-plats and a nice, powerful system, why the hell do you want other consoles? I don't understand. Maybe for the exclusives, but Nintendo will basically be your main console. Let's just be real. Like, they have the IPs. Like, if they can have the other stuff that the consoles have, like better online infrastructure, have an achievement system, like they have all the good things. Like, if they have those stuff, everything, then why should I own an Xbox? Because they're still struggling with exclusives, man. Like, I'm tired of Gears, Forza, and Halo. I'm tired of it. With Sony, know what? No, Sony, they're doing pretty well when it comes to exclusives, because we just got new IP with Horizon Zero Dawn. Got the God of War and Last of Us. They got some really good IPs. I'm not gonna count out Sony. They got some really good.
Yeah,
IPs.
that's what I was gonna say. Is like, that sounds good, but like. I have a favorite. Obviously, I'm a Nintendo fan, so I'll always have a favorite. But I've always been a multi-console owner. When I had my Genesis, I went out and got a Super Nintendo. Even though I got the Genesis first, it was out first, so I bought that. Super Nintendo came out. I went out and got that. During the N64 era, I had a N64. I had a Sega Saturn, and I was gaming on PC. And I didn't get the PS1 till probably like '98. After Final Fantasy VII came out.
What was your first game on the PS1?
First game of Battle Arena Toshinden.
What the hell is that? I don't remember
You
that.
never heard of Battle Arena Toshinden? Oh yeah,
I do not remember that.
It's a 3D fighter. It's a 3D fighting game. Not as good as Soul Calibur, but in that kind of vein.
Mm-hmm. Soul Calibur was the shit. I love
Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur was amazing. But before it was Soul Calibur, it was what was it? What was it before that? Before the Dreamcast came out, there's another version called Soul something.
I'm trying to remember. It's
Soul Sword or something like that.
Remember Plasma Sword for the Dreamcast? Remember that? I love that game.
Plasma Sword, yeah.
I could have bought it last week, but they wanted $120. I was like, whoa, I'm not buying no 120. Shit.
Yeah, the Dreamcast is like probably the most. It's between Dreamcast and Saturn as the most expensive systems to collect for retro systems. Yeah, because those games are expensive.
They had Power Stone. They had Power Stone too. They wanted $80 for it. They had Power
Soul Edge. Thank you, Aries 73. Soul Edge.
Soul Edge. Okay,
that's where Soul Calibur came from.
Oh, we got some retro heads.
Soul Edge in the arcades. I remember playing Soul Edge.
Okay, so we got some retro heads in this chat.
Yeah, we got some retro heads in there.
Okay, cool. Now, yeah, cool. But I don't know what else to say about Sega, man. Like, I just hope for the best. Overall, they're doing well financially. I don't care how much they said that they are broke. Alex, they're not broke. Nia, they're not broke. Sega's still here. They're still alive. They're still alive.
Sega got money. They got money. Sammy has money. They got Atlas. They're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
that was a great acquisition. Like, they got Atlas. So
what they spent about $120 million to get them.
Yeah.
Like, if
everybody else slept. It's like, I thought Nintendo should have grabbed them, but they slept, and Sega snatched them up.
Yeah, it's kind of weird Nintendo grabbing Atlas, because their games is kind of not for kids. Let's just be real.
Well, I mean, it's like I liken Nintendo to like what do you call it? And everybody pretty much does Disney. Disney has their Disney stuff. They have their Magical Kingdom and all that stuff, but they got some grittier stuff too. They have. So that's where Nintendo could be or should be. So,
yeah, no, you're right about that. So I guess closing out, like, what do you think about third parties going on for the Switch? Do you think that it's going to be on the same level as far as the success sales wise on the Switch? Do you think it's be as far as success on Xboxes and PlayStation consoles? Well, when it comes to Japanese games, it's going to still better than Xbox because they don't buy those games.
Yeah.
So
I think it can get there. I think it's going to take a couple years to get there because people are used to playing their big multiplats on their on their Xboxes or on their PlayStation. So it's going to take a little bit of pulling them over. Like I noticed a lot of we talked about NBA 2K18. I noticed a lot of guys who used to play that on the other system actually bought that on their Switch. So that's a step in that direction. So it's going to take a couple years. I said that a long time ago. I was like, even if Nintendo came out with a new console, that just during the Wii U, I said if they came out with a new console and they had all the third-party support, though, it's going to take a couple years for those games to sell. Not people ain't gonna just jump, and leave their achievements and leave their friends on the other console to do it on the Nintendo console. It's going to take a couple years to get those people over. So
I don't know, man. Like they said, Xenoverse 2 sold 400,000 copies on.
I was very surprised by that.
400,000 copies on a 7 million install base. I think that's almost where the Xbox One is at. So I don't it's the portability that's making this system very hot and attractive. When you say the friends.
I'm just saying because you're saying on the same level. That's what I was saying.
On the same. Well,
I'm not saying they can't do good. I just meant like on the same level.
If you want to compare it to Xbox, then yeah, I think it can outsell
Xbox. But yeah, Xbox is different.
They don't buy games. They don't buy games. They buy just look at 4K and just put it down and make a video. Oh damn. Oh my god. But,
I do want an Xbox, but I need to see some more games too.
Yeah, like I'm like not only Capcom was surprised about Street Fighter, Bandai Namco was surprised. Ubisoft, remember with the Wii U, Ubisoft said that they got 1% or was it a 0.5% of the revenue coming
from
the Wii U?
It was like 1%. Yeah, it was like 1% of their revenue came from the Wii U. It's like, damn.
So the only third party game that the only third party game that didn't do as well on the Switch is FIFA. And I'm glad I'm glad that it didn't sell, because EA did that same shit with the Wii U, gimping the freaking ports. Remember the Mass Effect 3?
You talking about Wii U? EA been doing that to Nintendo since N64. They did that with the Madden, and because they didn't want to pay for the license on the N64. So Madden on the N64, the first one was just Madden 64. It was no NFL.
Oh, really? So I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, you played the Giants. It was just New York.
What?
Yeah, this is not new. Like,
wow.
I go back with EA. This is nothing new. They've been doing this for decades with Nintendo.
That's just fucking shady as hell.
And they completely shunned the Dreamcast. They didn't even put anything on the Dreamcast at all.
Yeah, of course they put on the Dreamcast, because NFL 2K was better than Madden. Like, let's be real. That's why they monopolized the NFL games.
NFL 2K exists because EA said we're not putting any games on there. So Sega went out and put that together. Yeah, that's why you have NFL 2K, NBA 2K.
And it was a lot better than
it was better. It's still better.
but looking at EA's money, and that's why we hear it right now, because they got so much money, and we no longer got a NFL 2K. We still got an NBA 2K, but that's because NBA 2K it makes live.
Yeah, but
look
you
like
take
shit.
away EA is nothing but licensing deals right now. You take away all their licensing deals. You take FIFA away. You take Madden away. You take Star Wars away. EA is filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're nothing to what they used to be. 6th gen, EA was amazing. Yep. GameCube, PS2, EA was the company. Now they're just a licensing company. That's all they do.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, I was done.
Oh, like when it comes to Nintendo fans, Nintendo fans are not stupid. Like, if they know that they are getting,
lesser,
lesser games, they paying full price. Like, they're not stupid. Like, look at the Mass Effect situation. Look at the FIFA 18 situation. Like, they trying to make it seem like, oh, you can take it on the go. That's cool and everything. We're not using Frostbite, but we're using a custom built engine. You know, but at the end of the day,
but that stuff works. That stuff works on Microsoft, Xbox. That stuff works on PS4. People, even though Andromeda is trash, it still sold millions of copies.
Well, they're more like, let's be real, Xbox.
But Nintendo fans would have never bought Andromeda.
Well, Xbox and PlayStation fans are more casual. The reason why I said that,
right.
The reason why I said that, because a lot of casual fans buy Call of Duties and Madden's, NBA 2Ks on PlayStation and Xbox, because those are the consoles that they're well known of. But with Nintendo consoles, like, majority of Nintendo fans read magazines. They go to YouTube. They go to websites, and we know what we're getting into. We know what to expect, and we know that when it comes to third-party games, like let's just be real, it just hadn't been there like it has with Xbox and PlayStation over the past decade or two. Like, we know, so we're not stupid. That's why EA is so mad and salty about Nintendo. Like, they still talking about, let's wait and see on these sales, and let's be real, they still got a salty, bitter relationship with Nintendo. Let's just be real about this.
I think they still mad about that rumored deal on Wii U.
Yeah, Origins.
With the Origin, right? I think they still salty about that. Let them be salty. Like, I don't really care about any EA game. Only thing I care about is Star Wars at this point, and they have the license to Star Wars, so I can't get any Star Wars games unless I buy into EA's crap.
Yep, football EA.
Yeah, so
fucking EA. UFC.
I don't miss them. I don't miss them at this point.
Yep.
It's all good.
So I guess that about wraps it up. I just want to put a little switch in there, because we are still obviously Nintendo fans. But, of course, I'm Sega. Like, even though Sega's not here no more as far as consoles, but I still rock the Dreamcast. I still rock the Genesis. Yeah, I even still got the damn Game Gear. And speaking of Game Gear, Alex, Active Sin, why do you have a Game Gear? You hate.
Oh, Alex has a Game Gear?
Yes, he has a Game Gear. Alex, why do you have a Game Gear and you hate Sega so much? I just don't understand. Exposed. Yeah, exposed, man. I just don't understand, man.
I don't even have a Game Gear.
I wanted to get the Nomad, but the store that I go to, ooh, you know how much that thing costs? They wanted $350. Oh,
that is a glorious little console, though. God dang, but that's a lot of money. Bro.
That's a lot of money. But yeah, you get the quality Sega Genesis on the go. But shit, I'm not paying that much to that, man. But yeah, I was get some questions, but now we need to get up out here. We've been doing this about an hour because I know Alex about to invite me to his trash ass podcast, and I mean, not just playing, I was playing. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all go to Team Red Talks Nintendo podcast on Active Sin's channel.
Or we're both heading over there.
Yeah, we both heading over there. So if you want more RGNT with the rest of the panel, I guess go ahead and hit us up. Matter of fact, I think he done already set up his stream. He is hosting, so go to Active Sin channel, and we will continue on. We're not going to continue on to talk Sega talk because if we continue the Sega talk, we probably get kicked out.
Sega fanboy, Sega fanboy.
Oh man, I can see it now. He about to troll us, man. But it's all good. It's all good, spirit of fun. So you have any final things, intake on anything before we get up?
No, I mean I'm a little surprised that these third parties have waited so long as far as the Switch goes, because Nintendo handhelds don't mess around. Like they've never, like even when they had issues like with the 3DS, it still ended up being greatness. So as far as sales go, so obviously the Switch is also a handheld. I'm just surprised by it, especially like the Japanese third party that they didn't know better. So.
Oh my god, man! Like we need to do more of this, man. There's just so much Sega stuff we could talk about. Like there is still a fan base, a big fan base,
huge fan base.
Dude, I was playing Resident Evil 3 the other day on my Dreamcast. I had the most views. Like I don't expect many people to watch me play a Dreamcast game, but any game, like I had more views playing Resident Evil 3 on the Dreamcast than Mario Odyssey on the Switch. Like what?
Yeah. What? Anytime I make a video about a Sega game, like a Shenmue or whatever, these guys come hit me up. All these different fan bases, they have their little message boards and all kinds of stuff going about these old games from Sega. So those videos do better than like my regular one-off videos. And that's crazy.
I told myself I'm gonna do more of these retro videos.
I'm about to do some more Sega. Do some more Sega video. You Nintendo fan, you ain't watching my videos.
Exposed. No. They play their video games. Exposed. They actually play games. not like Xbox guys. Exposed. But anyway, it's good up out of here. I guess let's get up out of here. Get our outros out the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not really used to outros that much, but yeah, great podcast. We got to do these more, obviously. Huge Sega fan. Sega was greatness, man. It was greatness. Yeah, it was. I feel sorry for anybody who missed out on that greatness, who don't know that Sega, who only know like Colonial Marine Sega. That's the bad Sega.
See, I got a lot of young guys that's my subscribers like between 17 and 21. And I was like, when do y'all start playing Sega games? Well, I play Unleashed. Whoa! I was like, dude, you grew up in the wrong time. Like Sega was the shit back then. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Sonic Unleashed. Wow. Okay. So I guess you got your outro out the way there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, then
thanks for having me, my man.
Oh man, all right, shit. I appreciate you coming, man. I know you a busy guy. We all busy, we got the wife and the kids to attend to and all that. I told my wife that next week I'm gonna kind of slow it down because it's my third stream this week. My third one. I'm gonna do another one tomorrow. I guess that's the main podcast, the Real Talk with the Real Gamer podcast. So y'all make sure y'all come back and join us tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. The Real Talk with the Real Gamer podcast. We always cut loose. We always talk about each other's mamas. We be going toe to toe. We be going all out, man. It is so fun. And you know why it's so fun? It's my channel. I do what the hell I want to do. Very uncut and raw. I don't censor nobody. As long as you don't call me a racist word, then we be all right. Just don't call me the N word. We be all right. But anyway, guys. Anyway, fun podcast. Want to do more of this, and we will see y'all on the next ride. Oh yeah, go to Active Sin channel right now because we about to go right now. Peace out.
Peace.